Jeremy Renner may no longer have his own app, but hey, now he has his own show. Hawkeye on Disney Plus is very fun, but after the first 2 episodes, we have questions. Like, what's up with Kate Bishop's mom's fiance's uncle's death? And who's a good boy? Let's explore. Hawkeye Episode 1 starts off with a bang, or hundreds of them you could say, as we're transported back in time to the Battle of New York from the original Avengers film. After we get a brief glimpse into the shaky marriage of young Kate Bishop's parents Eleanor and Derek Bishop, their swanky penthouse starts shaking and eventually crumbling as the Chitauri decimate the buildings of New York. A young Kate is on her own in the penthouse as she gets separated from her parents, and a Chitauri almost takes her out, but we see that an arrow from Hawkeye takes down the small alien ship before it claims her. Kate spots Hawkeye on the roof of a nearby building, identifying her savior, who then leaps from the building and shoots a grapple arrow, a throwback to a famous Clint moment from the Avengers. It's at this moment that Kate becomes inspired thanks to the heroic efforts of Hawkeye on that roof. He saved her life, and she admits to her mom at her father's funeral that she wants a bow and arrow. Thanks to Hawkeye's heroism that day in New York, Kate takes up archery and other skills, including karate and fencing. Without Clint, there would be no Kate Bishop in the MCU. One of the goals of Episode 1 of Hawkeye is to explain to the viewer what's going on with Clint since we last saw him in Avengers Endgame. It's been more than 2 years since his last MCU scene as he attended Tony Stark's funeral, but he was reunited with his family. He is still with his kids as Hawkeye kicks off, as we see the foursome attend Rogers the Musical without Mom. Watching the silly musical turns out to be slightly triggering for Clint, who is clearly annoyed at the nonsense of it all.
Yo, honey, I know what happens. I was there. You knew it wasn't there. It's that guy. Ant-Man.
He's mostly in his feelings about the loss of his best friend Natasha, as we see his mind wander after the musical version Natasha starts cartwheeling around. It's here that he takes a break and leaves to go to the restroom, and we also see him fumble with his hearing aid. It turns out Clint has suffered some severe hearing loss in his left ear thanks to his adventures with the Avengers. It looks like Clint is making up for lost time with his kids and is spending the days leading up to Christmas with them. Laura is off at their farmhouse and explains their separation by suggesting this is supposed to be Clint's one-on-one time with his kids. Of course, Clint is pulled away from his family after spotting Kate on TV in the Ronin suit from Avengers Endgame. We're introduced to 2 villains in the first episode of Hawkeye. One is the Tracksuit Mafia, who are truly living up to their Marvel Comics hype. We don't really get a sense of who they are and why they're so angry, but we do know that they had run-ins with Ronin when he was still on his killing rampage after the snap. They chase down Kate after she fumbles their heist of the secret black market auction, but Clint comes to save the day after he sees his Ronin suit back on the streets of New York. Kate snatched it during the auction chaos while Jack made off with Ronin's sword. Speaking of Jack, this is another villain we need to keep our eye on. He has suspiciously wooed Kate's widow mother, and the pair are now engaged. He loves swords, which is no surprise given Jack is pulled directly from the Marvel Comics character Jacques Duquesne, aka Swordsman. A former mentor and teacher of Clint's, Jacques has no connection with Kate Bishop in the comics, so this is an interesting twist Hawkeye is giving us. While we don't know what Jack is up to in Episode 1, his creepiness alone lets us know he's up to no good. It's already suspected that he's involved in the death of his uncle Armand, and there's some talk at the auction of a sizable inheritance. While Episode 1 served as an introduction to Kate, her mother Eleanor, Jack, the Tracksuit Mafia, and we can't forget Lucky the Pizza Dog, it gave us a good idea of where Hawkeye is going and themes that will be carried throughout. Clint is clearly still dealing with the grief of losing Natasha, while he also seems to be trying to cover up his past as Ronin. He still has enemies from his days as the vigilante, and they're coming back to haunt him thanks to his #1 fan, Kate. Kate, a vigilante in her own right, is now working to uncover the mystery of her future stepdad and the murder of Armand III, who in the comics is actually Jack's father. She's become the target of the Tracksuit Mafia, who are clearly not the men in charge. We suspect Kate and Clint will find out they somehow have a connection to one another, especially given how all these characters intertwine in the comics. And then there's the lingering mystery of that watch, which is very important to the Tracksuit Mafia for some unknown reason.
We've got 90 seconds to find the watch. Everything else is secondary.
Episode 2 picks up immediately after Episode 1 as Clint Barton is pulling the Ronin mask off of Kate Bishop in an alley. Clint is keen on getting his suit back from Kate, so they head to her apartment to hide out for a moment. While still in shock that she's with the real Hawkeye, Kate changes and hands the suit over to Clint. Unfortunately, those pesky Tracksuit Mafia members have tracked them down and start throwing Molotov cocktails through her apartment window. The apartment eventually catches fire, causing the duo to abandon the Ronin suit, and now Kate and Clint are on the run. Once the Tracksuit Mafia sets Kate's apartment on fire, the duo has to bolt and head somewhere safe. Kate decides to go to her aunt's apartment since she's out of town. Clint forces Kate to hide out there while he heads back to retrieve the suit. He finds out one of the firemen stole it, which is just another unnecessary obstacle for Clint to overcome. He comes back to visit Kate and helps her patch up a wound, and we get a peek at how Clint might become a father figure to his new friend. The following day, Clint has to ditch his kids as he sends them off to be with their very understanding mom. He revisits Kate back at their hideout, and then they go their separate ways, but not before exchanging phone numbers. Clint thinks this is the last time he'll see Kate and begs her only to call if she has an emergency. It's now Clint's mission to retrieve the Ronin suit and figure out why the Tracksuit Mafia is stirring up trouble yet again. He travels to a live-action roleplay event to find his suit, where he suspects the thieving firefighter will be wearing it. Clint must sign up and participate in the event to get to the firefighter, which turns into one of the best slow-motion bits ever seen in the MCU, as Clint fake slices and dices some hilarious adversaries. After a duel with the thief, Clint is finally in possession of the Ronin suit again. Back at Kate's mom's penthouse, Jack is back doing very Jack things. He continues to fool Kate's mom while not fooling his soon-to-be daughter-in-law, but he also doesn't seem to care. Kate ends up challenging him to a fencing match where he pretends to be the lesser competitor. As Kate yells at Jack to stop letting her win, she eventually tricks him into showing off his true talent and uses this as a way to prove he's some kind of liar.
Sorry for scaring you into telling the truth.
Obviously, Jack is a liar, but we're still not sure what his true intentions are. He's still in possession of the Ronin sword, but it's unclear what his plan is. After his fencing match with Kate, he offers her a butterscotch, one which matches those in a bowl at Armand's house from episode 1. This appears to be enough proof for Kate that Jack killed Armand, but in reality, all it suggests is that Jack has been to his uncle's house before. Jack's involvement with his uncle's death is still unclear, but things don't look good. While Kate is having some family fun, Clint sets himself up to be kidnapped by the Tracksuit Mafia. He tells his wife on the phone that he's doing a catch and release, which Laura points out is classic Nat. After luring the goons to him, Clint is taken to a secret location where he continues to tell the gangsters he wants to talk to the person in charge. After realizing Clint's in trouble, Kate comes to help after tracking his location, but falls through the roof of the building and causes a mess instead. As Kate and Clint are tied up by the gang, one of the Mafia members goes into a speaker-filled room to get the boss. As the bass in the background booms, we get our first look at Maya Lopez, aka Echo. It's the briefest of glimpses as the screen cuts to credits after we see her face, but it promises us an even bigger episode for next week. Echo, who already has her own series coming to Disney Plus, is a deaf hero who is mainly known for her role in the Daredevil comics. The adoptive daughter of Kingpin, Echo's appearance in Hawkeye might hint that we could be getting a second go-round with Wilson Fisk from the Netflix Daredevil series, or the MCU could remix her origin the way it's done with plenty of other heroes. While it looks like Echo is the villain now, we can almost guarantee she won't be. There is either a bigger threat we haven't met, or Jack truly is the big bad. The biggest takeaway from Hawkeye Episode 2? Still no Yelena Belova from Black Widow as promised, but we expect she's right around the corner. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about Hawkeye are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.